Stellar conditions on a stunning Sunday in Barcelona brought the crowds out at the fan zones and race village and gave a truly global audience a thrilling spectacle of top-class racing in the dynamic AC-75 yachts. As the sun sets on a glorious day, the points table shows Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Ineos Britannia, after scoring double race wins, just 1 point away from eliminating their opponents and securing their places in the Louis Vuitton Cup final. Such is the brutal nature of a competition where famously there is no second. The simple fact is that for Alinghi Red Bull Racing and New York Yacht Club American Magic, they will both be eliminated from the tournament if they lose just one race tomorrow afternoon. With winds gusting above 18 knots and recorded speeds on the racecourse in excess of 50 knots, 92.6 kilometers per hour, Day 2 saw the best racing coming between the Italians and Americans. In the first race, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli were fired up from the start and eclipsed the hard-driving Americans immediately off the start line, going on to capitalize on small boat handling errors by the Americans and securing vital boat positioning through outstanding race management to win by 26 seconds. In their second race of the day, and with American Magic fighting for their lives, it was nip and tuck all the way over 6 legs of the course. Everything ultimately came down to a brilliant call to cross the Americans by Italian helmsman Francesco Bruni in the final 100 meters of the last leg that secured a slender 2-second victory and relegated American Magic to the last-chance saloon. Tom Slingsby, helmsman for American Magic, knows the scale of the task that is ahead of the team to stay in the competition and was ruing the small mistakes of the day, saying, "I'd prefer to win and it be a terrible race for the spectators than lose and everyone love it. We're competitors and athletes, and it's brutal to lose close ones because there's so many could have, should have, would haves. We did a couple of bad tacks. We did a bad bottom mark rounding. I just sit there and stew over our mistakes, and it's kind of what I'm doing right now." Following a dominant performance yesterday, Ineos Britannia were determined to maintain a building tide of momentum that is feeling somewhat unstoppable at the moment. 2 races and 2 outstanding performances from the British sees them also at 4-0, but they survived what can only be described as a near miss in the pre-start of the first race of the day against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. After some initial circling attempts in the pre-start area, the Swiss fell off their foils, only to recover but lose control whilst on the give-way port jibe as Britannia hunted them down, at speed, on the right-of-way starboard jibe. Smart sailing from Sir Ben Ainslie avoided a collision and allowed the British to sail off unopposed to a 2-minute and 20-second victory. A slightly closer tussle ensued initially in the second race of the day, but ultimately the result was the same. Ineos Britannia showed her power to extend on every leg of the course and record a 48-second win. The British now stand just 1 race away from making the Louis Vuitton Cup final. Dylan Fletcher, gold medalist and port helm on Ineos Britannia, spoke about the incident in the pre-start where the 2 boats came near to a collision, saying, "I don't ever want to be any closer. I don't think the boundaries between the boats quite dissected, but it was interesting. It's very challenging in that much breeze. With the pre-start box size, we did circle, and they obviously matched us, and it looked like they tried to pick us up after their attack, but fell off the foil, so it was an opportunity to go for the kill. We were quite surprised when they chose to turn down, and then I think they lost their rudder. Luckily, we still had ours." For Maxim Bachelin, the young Swiss port helm on Alinghi Red Bull Racing, the reality of what is unfolding as they stand match point down and facing a possible exit from the competition tomorrow afternoon is dawning, but there's still a strong fighting spirit as he spoke for the team, saying, "To sum things up, I would say we can make no mistakes anymore. The way we feel is that the only way is forward, and so let's push for tomorrow."
First race, Luna Rossa started to the left of us, and the breeze wasn't as well mixed in yet. We were all, I think all the teams were fighting a little bit for the upper right-hand side for a pending right shift up the beat. The pin was just a little bit biased, and they got a little bit of a slingshot on us, and won the first cross and basically sailed a really good race. Defended their spot, did the obvious things well. We kept asking the question, but you can't really have any mistakes. And we had one little, we had a touchdown coming into the bottom mark where we went to go board down for the left turn and had a skid. So, they're a good team, and we're racing at a level here that requires perfection if you have an expectation of being successful.
On the fourth race between Luna Rossa Prada Perli and American Magic.
In race 2, the guys sailed such a good race. I think in the end the delta was 2 seconds at the finish. It was all to play for. They kept asking the question, and Luna Rossa just responded, but you have to give the guys on Patriot high marks. The afterguard did a really good job of keeping the boat close in the race, and it's sport. It's hard, but we're not out of it. So, our task is a bit harder. We got to win 5 straight against a very formidable team, but we're going to go out tomorrow and take one race at a time and see where we can get to.
Decent day out there. That was quite a good breeze in the end. I think saw up some proper Garby breeze at the end there. I don't know what it got up to, probably 17, 18 knots. And I guess the first time we've been able to see these boats stretch their legs in those conditions. Really good day for the team. Pick up another 2 points, which is, it's great in this first to 5 series. We're 1 away now. I've got my head up at the back of that starboard cockpit, and to be honest, I sort of wish I didn't at that point. These boats, as you can see, they push out some pace, and your closing speed's quite full on at times. Probably about as close as you'd ever want to put the 2 of these boats together. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on conditions tomorrow, but we'll go about it the same. For us, it's still a two race day until it's not. So we'll go out, try and get it done in the first race, but yeah, we'll be ready to go for 2.